Secure your Elixir apps with Paraxial.io. From code analysis and bot defense to dependency checks, they've got you covered. Elixir first design with GitHub integration. Elevate your security at Paraxial.io. Testing. What's up? I'm Jacob Blitzo, your Elixir mentor, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Elixir Mentor podcast. This is where we discuss everything related to Elixir, from interviews with enthusiasts, pioneers in the community, to innovative projects and libraries shaping Elixir's future. And I'm stoked. I'm welcoming back Zach Daniel, creator of Ash Framework. And I think I don't have to say anything else. Welcome back, dude. How's it going? It's good to see you again.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I've been enjoying watching your videos. A lot of great stuff. The vibe coding one was fun.
A lot of vibe coding these days. It's been it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird that it works as well as it does.
Yeah. Well, and it's also kind of got like that slot machine mechanics that make it a little addictive, because you're like, you put in a prompt and you're like, is it gonna be good, or is it gonna like this one, and is it gonna do what I want, or like, and sometimes it like nails it and you're like, jackpot, So like, I think it's got that like that hook, that makes it feel a little bit more like playing a video game, right?
It does. The problem is, like, I feel like I do write faster code, but you have that weird, like when you're waiting for responses or for it to finish so you can review the code, I feel like you got to like fill that space now with something else.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the way I use it, I think, there's a lot of conversations happening right now about like how effective LLMs are. I mean, there's that big study that just dropped recently, which I actually personally have a lot of problems with the methodology, or at least the details of how that study works don't really make a lot of sense to me. But for me, like the overriding thing is just like knowing when to use it and when not to use it. And like a good example of that is like, I have like, you shouldn't use it if you're not like pretty confident that it's the sort of thing that an LLM will be good at. Right. Like, so one thing that I have that I do pretty often now, it's like fundamentally changed one of my workflows as an open source package maintainer. So when I get a bug report, before I go tackle that, I just point Claude at the bug report and I say, can you make a test that reproduces this issue the way that the user described, right? And then, maybe I'll come back and it'll be like a good test, and I'll say, okay, take a stab at fixing it, because I feel confident that it's like some small thing, like it's the real fix will be very little code. So I know that, like, I'm like, if I come back and there's like, 3 files created, and I'm like, okay, we're going to go back to just the test, and I'll do it myself. So identifying those like workflows where it's good, and then just don't even bother trying when you haven't like vetted that it's actually good for that workflow, is just such an important factor in like being good with LLMs.
Yeah. Well, like, so what you're saying, like, at Collects, we use GraphQL and all that, and we'll have our front end guys send us, broken queries or whatever, right? And yeah, I instantly write the failing test around it, and then normally, like, Claude Code does a pretty good job at tracking it down. But yeah, it has made me better at kind of doing the test-driven development angle.
Right. There is that factor that people don't talk about a lot, which is that not everybody likes doing every part of good software engineering, right? Like, I don't personally enjoy writing docs, but if you give me some decent docs, I'll spruce it up. I'm like, actually, let's tweak this, let's modify this. Right? I don't really enjoy writing tests, but now with the LLM there, it's like, actually, okay, well, I don't have to do it. Like, I mean, it may not be that great, but tests are tests. Like, as long as like, they just need to have like realistic setup, realistic assertions. Like, I don't care if the style's nice. I don't care, whatever. Right. So, and the same thing with docs, where it's like, I get to do, even if all I do is go on my phone and play like a game for the like 2 minutes that Claude spends writing documentation for me, that's a win in my book. Like,
for sure.
That's like cycles of, like, my brain is tired every day. So like, I'll take a few cycles back.
Well, I think like the cool thing too with tests is you can write your knowledge base or markdown files to make it follow your testing patterns too. Right. And you can dial that stuff in. Like, I almost spend too much time now writing probably, my knowledge base markdowns to really dial things in and be like, no, you're not listening. Go check out this markdown. And those are the testing patterns we want to follow.
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting because like it's complicated. Everybody like these. So LLMs are stochastic machines or statistical machines, which means like everybody's like anecdotal encounters with them are like different. So there's like
Hmm.
people who are convinced that Claude is bad at Elixir and people who are convinced that Claude is really good at Elixir, and they're both right because like that's how statistics work. Like they, or at least there, that is what they actually experienced, but it's not necessarily true or false. Um, but I think like like you have to have that, like you have to like identify. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but it's like everybody's experience is wildly different, but you still have to like feel your way through like an actual workflow that works. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and well, you don't have to use it. Just don't use it if you
Well,
don't.
here's the
Nobody's trying
thing,
to make you do
like
it.
it's a new skill set to learn. You have to understand how to use it to make it efficient in your daily workflow.
Right.
Because I was really against it when I first started using them. I mean, granted, in the last couple months they've gotten so much better, um,
Yeah.
but when I was first, I was like, no, this is dumb. It slows me down. I can write a function or do whatever I'm trying to do manually a lot quicker. And then when you start to learn how to use the tools properly, like I think we're at that point where if you don't integrate it at least slightly into your workflow, you're probably going to be behind in a year.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. Like, I don't. I've well, okay. I have two thoughts. The first one I'd say that's really interesting actually is like a lot of people have said like LLMs don't work on like larger code bases because there's like more rules to follow. But I've actually found that not to be the case. Small digestible changes on a large application actually work really well. And all I do is I say like I want to do this thing, and then I select like it's like this file over here and like this one here and like this one here, and I want to test it like this over here and I right, and all of a sudden it's actually more of a translation effort, which is something that LLMs
Hmm.
are quite good at, like a pattern shift, from similar to this version, but slightly reworded and restated. That's when I've had the most success. I had the most successful encounter with an LLM I had was somebody submitted a PR to Ash Postgres that had um, it was like a big change and it was really cool, but the same change had to happen in Ash SQLite. And I was like, oh god, it's gonna take a long time because it's all it's different but same all at the same time. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I went and I set up Claude Code, or actually I think I was using Zed at the time. I just copied the patch from the Ash Postgres pull request, like the Git patch,
Hmm.
and then I linked to the pull request and I said, hey, here's how Ash SQLite is different from Ash Postgres, like in these like meaningful ways. And it, I know for a fact that that task would have taken me like easily minimum 4 hours, closer to like an entire day, like 8 hours of work,
Hmm.
and it was done in like 15 minutes. And I was like, holy crap. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, that means I can maximize and work to strive to have those kinds of encounters only, and none of the ones where it wastes my time. And if
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
figure out how to do that, then I'm winning, right? So that's
Right.
kind of where my head's at with it.
Yeah, no, and
Um,
that's really cool. Uh, like anytime, yeah, I feel like the translating thing is amazing because right now we're doing like a big shift in our database architecture and stuff.
mhm.
And we're going from like, assumed single quantity trading cards for selling to like adding quantity, but like
Mm,
using an LLM to help you like rewrite services to add quantity
yeah,
and follow patterns it's a game changer.
right. Yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's just I don't know. We'll see how it goes to like actually like over time we're going to have to refine how we talk about these things, and we're going to have to like because there's so many reasonable takes that where people are like, oh, it wastes all of my time. And it's like, look, you're right, it did waste your time, and it's hard to describe, like, but you can use it differently. But we don't have a system to talk about these things. Like, I don't have a
Yeah.
good way to say exactly what you should do to have a good outcome, which means it's not scientific, it's not reproducible. And all of these people are kind of right that they're like, well, I didn't figure out the magic spell that you figured out, and so my magic robot doesn't work great for me. And it's
Yeah.
like it's all squishy and weird. And so until we, I think, formalize it to some degree, have like better tooling, better systems that can like reliably produce good outcomes, then we're not going to get past this whole like, you know, 1v1 thing of like no LLMs,
Yeah,
LLMs,
yeah,
like
yeah.
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. It'll be I will say one thing, it's way better at like UI design than I am. So That's a big game
Right.
changer. It
Yeah,
makes like a
I'm
back end guy
garbage.
like me actually be able to produce some landing pages and things.
Right. And it's actually like pretty good with live view and stuff too. I've noticed
Hmm.
like it, it really doesn't struggle much there. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, the big problem I do have with it is generally speaking, like this is, I work on Ash, right? Like I build something that, and I guess we'll transit. This is maybe a good segue into some of that stuff, but like I have a lot of standards for like
Wait,
what
what's
the
what's
actual code.
Ash?
Yeah, I know. I've never heard of it. I have a lot of standards for how the things that I build actually work. And a lot of that is about like long-term maintainability, complexity management, like actual like long-term capability, right? So when I decide later that there's certain things that I want, it has to be written in a certain way. And in my experience, LLMs do not write future-proof code like at all, which some people will tell you that's fine because you'll just like delete and have an LLM change it or something later. But in my like, that's not how real complex software works. Like it has to remain compatible. The touch points all have to like,
Yeah.
it's
I
just,
I'm gonna like disagree with you slightly. I think if you handhold and code review and you stay on top of what's going into your code base, you can control that a little bit.
well, yeah. So I agree. I 100% agree. But and that's kind
Okay.
of my point. Making it use good Ash patterns is how I do that,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that's
Okay.
by making it write high quality Ash code. And because Ash is so systematized and has like all of these like tools that are designed to work together, that when it's writing idiomatic Ash, I feel like I don't feel like I know that I am making something like to a higher degree of quality that will be easier to refactor and all that stuff later. So, like you say, it requires that hand holding. But for me, like that hand holding is more like do it this way. That we have all these design patterns, use
Hmm.
them, and
Yeah.
don't do it the other. Like don't just crap out a bunch of stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean that works. We this would be a good time to talk about usage rules probably.
Usage rules
Like
is so dope. Yes. Like first,
right,
for people that don't know, you want to just like explain the macro
yeah.
version of it.
So it's actually like really simple. Usage rules as a concept. If you're familiar working with LLMs, they have there's usually like a rules file. So it'd be like agents.md or call.md or something. Um, and but one of the things that's really interesting is like you'll find your agent makes mistakes using different libraries and different tools. So like especially if you've been working with Ash and LLMs, it'll just do things like wrong, like a lot, and it makes these assumptions and all that. And so you start like building in like into your own rules file, like, hey, when you're using Ash, don't do this, and when you're do it like this and all this sort of stuff. But what's actually really interesting is like that's something that I noticed was like sprawling now. Everybody was talking to me about their own usage rule, like their own agents file, and everybody wanted mine. Like there, because people were like, "Hey, you've actually got like something that works, well for you. So like, can I get that file too?" And I was actually like, a big part of what I did for like 2 weeks of my life was like sending people a markdown file and of like here's what I tell agents to do, but then it would change. So like I would figure out a better thing and the next day, and now that all these people who I'd sent them this markdown file, that it was out of date, right? And so as somebody who like builds frameworks, this sort of process is obviously garbage for me. I'm like, this isn't how we actually distribute things that other people should use. So the concept here is that a hex package can have there was actually two things now, but it has a usage-rules.md file. And all that is it's like, how should an LLM, what should be in the LLM's context window, if you're being more like technical about it, right? When it's working on this package or working with this package, not on it. That's actually really important. It's when somebody else is using it in their own app. That's what these rules are for.
Hmm.
And so we actually added something recently, which is you can have a folder of usage rules files and that way you can like pick like, oh, I only want the Ash resource usage rules, or only like if you're using some subset of a library, that sort of thing. But anyway, so in your app, you would say mix usage rules.sync. You'd pass in like your agents.md file, and then you could just say which packages and tools you want to sync into your agents.md. And like Bob's your uncle, you got all the rules from the library authors that have written usage rules, which for the most part is only me, but there are a couple out there that aren't me. But
Yeah.
it's such a wildly different experience when you're working with like usage rules that are good, that are provided by the library author, than without. Night and day.
So, all right, I'll share a story. So we were talking a little bit before this, and I've talked about it in Discord and stuff. I'm currently like building a project where I'm using Ash because I'm like, look, I'm going to learn Ash. I want to make some tutorials because once you know it, you can build extremely quickly. And like, I'm all about that. Like, get a product out the door and a well like built product too, right? Like, things just work well. But I struggled until your Ash framework book came out. And then I was like, okay, I get it. Like now I can also use this as a reference. Like when I forget how to create a resource or an action, whatever it may be, I had a good resource that I could just thumb through, right? And then, but I was sad because I was like, dang it, I can't really leverage my LLM because it was just dropping the ball over and over. I couldn't write any Ash code. I couldn't even correct it. Like I didn't even really know how to correct it in like my knowledge base. But then you wrote a blog post and announced usage rules. And I was like, oh my gosh. I instantly went and used it, added the references to my markdown, and dude, Claude Code now writes perfect Ash code. I can just tell it to add a resource, what I want it to do, and I don't even have to raise a finger. I mean, like I code review and make sure it's doing what I want, but it just works. It was pretty magical. So from that aspect, like it is so dope because you wrote the usage rules for me.
Right. And what I think is really cool too is that the way that we're doing this, we over time we find like bugs even. Like we treat the usage rules file as like a part of the library in a way. So when we like fix something in it, that gets like tagged as like a fix, and we actually like, and when we improve, so a common thing is like we get lots of reports. People are like, it forgets to do require ash.query, a lot, and so it gets like, and it gets confused about how it should do that sort of stuff, right? So then we go in and there's a big warning in the usage rules file now that says, hey, if you get errors that look like this, you're probably missing require ash.query, right? A common one is it didn't know that code interfaces could be like supported certain options that it supported, like that you can, filter and sort when you call a code interface function. And so we released an improvement that like guided it towards doing that. So we have this ability, this lever that we can pull now as a community, right? As we realize how LLMs are doing better or worse, where we can collaborate on making them behave better. And that to me is like so much like, the biggest problem we have I'm very like community centric, right? So I think a lot about the people who use Ash and the people in the Elixir ecosystem and how we can make sure that like a lot of why I want to increase adoption is so that the people in my community have jobs, right? Like not because like I don't care if more people use Elixir, but I care that like our community is more employable and our community's skills and people who've invested in learning Elixir, that doesn't turn out to be a bad investment for them, all that sort of stuff, right? And what I saw early on with the AI stuff is people getting left behind, right? There's a group of people who had like all of this time and energy to spend to like tweaking and training their rules. And they're saying, hey guys, this stuff works really well. And then you have all these people who maybe they were busy, maybe they didn't have the time, or maybe they just didn't find the same materials or didn't have the same expertise. It doesn't matter. They're like, hey, I can't benefit from all this stuff that you guys are talking about. It's not working for me. And to me, I'm like, that's unacceptable. This idea that like we don't like hoard good agent rules, and I don't know. It's just so for me, I'm like, we need to level the playing field a bit and make it communal.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I was late to the show on adopting AI, and I didn't understand use. Like I would use it without usage rules or your markdown files. I was just like, kind of naive to what I needed to do to really dial it in to make it useful. So, but that's also why I kept writing it off and didn't use it. And then you were talking about how you have enjoyed like the vibe coding live streams I've been doing. And what's great with that is I've just been bringing guys on that have already been leveraging all this. And it's basically, I learned how to do it live with everyone else. And it's the best way to do it. And like, I found that like I started this podcast, right? I stay up to date on Elixir because of the guests I have on. I don't have to do anything more. Yeah.
It's a nice position to be in, right? Like, you got.
Yeah. And then I can ask all the dumb questions that everyone else is wondering, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Cool. So I know I think on the docket today was kind of mostly Ash AI related stuff. Um, and I mean, this is always a problem I have when I go and like to talk about Ash is like, it's like huge. It's like doing a
There's
podcast on Linux. I don't know.
there's a
Like
lot
we
to
can talk about
talk
anything,
about.
but
Now,
um,
I want to tease a little bit, and I know we were talking about this in my Discord channel, but we're going to be doing a live stream where basically I get to code with Ash with Zach right here with me, and we're going to be doing that. I think it's August 1st, I believe.
yeah, that sounds right to me.
So that'll be fun. Normal programming, the podcast will not happen, but we'll do a live stream that day and hopefully build something cool. We've been kind of toying around with some streaming tools for this podcast and my live streams, but we'll see what happens. Someone did recommend that we build a AI wife, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled. Come on, building AI waifus, like it's not gonna go good for us.
No, it wouldn't go well. I think we'll stick to live stream tools.
Yeah, that sounds smart. Oh man. Um, yeah. So I think today we're kind of just talking through. We can talk about Ash AI. Have you had a chance to use Ash AI? I know you said you've been using Ash.
So I've been using Ash. I have installed Ash AI, but I don't think I'm not actually leveraging it. I'm not using it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
is it its own separate MCP proxy like Tidewave, or does it work with Tidewave?
Well, so yeah, I mean, okay, Ash AI does a lot of different things. One of the things is it has a dev MCP that you can set up. I would say like Tidewave is much more important. You can have them both running together and hook them up together. You have to like configure it in your MCP settings to actually use it. But I would say like Tidewave is the more important one to have. Like if you're like picking between like Ash AI's dev MCP server is more like a experimentation ground for us, and some stuff to kind of help us guide agents slightly better. So like you can ask for like the agent can ask like list resources and it'll get like a map of all the domains and the resources inside of it, or it can ask like and the other one though I added that is actually really cool is it has a usage rules tool where you can say get usage rules and it will respond to the agent with all the packages that have usage rules and their descriptions and the file to read to get those usage rules. So all of these things are like hinting the agent to like properly use the rules that we're setting forth. So yeah, setting that up is like pretty straightforward. And definitely like I would suggest doing it if you're writing Ash code, but it's not like make or break. Like the usage rules themselves are a lot more important. But that's I would say like just one kind of small part about like that dev MCP server is like just a small thing that we release as part of Ash AI. The other stuff is like actually building AI enabled applications. So like we have a mix task called mix-ai.gen.chat that like code gens into your app like ChatGPT basically. So like it generates the live views and the resources to run like a streaming chat panel.
Oh, sweet.
So you just press that button, you run that mix task and you set the OpenAI API key. And now you're chatting with OpenAI, like no time at all. But then what's cool about it is that Ash AI also comes with this concept of exposing actions as tool calls. So you can say like, let's say you had like a create tweet action, in your app, you could expose it as a tool and then you add it just to the list of tools that the chatbot has access to. And now in your app, when you like type messages and stuff, it will have access to create tweets. Like, so you just like, basically you get this like free chatbot that can use your app, like just whichever parts of it that you want it to be able to use.
That's awesome.
It like honors all the policy rules and everything about like what people can and can't do in your app. So like Ash AI, basically it's like push button AI tooling, which I think is like pretty cool. Like, and it's generated because like we generate the chat stuff because you're going to customize that. Like if you ever build like workflows, like maybe first you want the AI to ask a certain type of question and then you gather up like all that sort of stuff. Like we can't make any assumptions about that, but the tool calls themselves, straightforward. Ash can do that. We can do JSON API or the open API schemas things or JSON schema.
This is awesome. I'm looking through the docs. By the way, all of your docs are so amazing now. I can tell you might have a little LLM help, but they're so good. Like,
yeah, we definitely
I've noticed the improvement.
Yeah, LLMs have definitely helped for sure.
And dude, the Ash HQ website, I love. Like, I don't know when you did it, but I just noticed it like this last week. And
it wasn't that long. It was like maybe a month ago, I think.
Okay, it's amazing. I love the project code gen, like what you all want in your project, and then you just give the install script, and you're good to go. It's dope.
Yeah, we definitely. I'm like kind of happy to. I'm like ready to not mess with that website because I've screwed with it like so many times. There's so much like crap that I've had to do with it, and I've changed it a million times. But I feel like it can stay the way it is for like another year at least, please and thank you.
That's my problem. When I start tweaking websites, I feel like I'm like changing things every single day, and then you have to be like, dude, I gotta stop.
Right, exactly. It's like, and you like one step forward, one step back, so like people are like, oh, it's too complicated, so I make it too simple, and then people are like, oh, it's too simple, so and I'm like, like this example doesn't explain enough, and so I'm like, okay, I clean it up, and they're like, oh, I don't understand what this does, and I'm like, so it's just this like never-ending problem for me. It's been like 5 or 6 years of people telling me that the website doesn't explain enough, followed by people telling me that it explains too much. And I'm like, I'm fully over it. I don't care anymore. Like it explains as much as I felt like it explaining. Done.
You need like 2 buttons. Like I need more or less, and then we'll just let them
I need
choose.
A normies button and like
a nerd
genius button. Yeah, nerds and normies. I like.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it's been a struggle, but there's one other thing I think that's really cool about Ash AI. Like, it's 2 things, but is vectorization, which is really, that's just a kind of utility to make so you can do like vector search and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's cool. It integrates with Ash Open to like whenever you make a change to a resource, it like schedules a job to call out to your, the Open API or Open AI or whatever model, doesn't matter, whoever you're using, and like generate embeddings and create them. So you get this like really nice stuff that like builds off of all the rest of the ecosystem that we have. So like Ash Open like automatically can do all that sort of stuff. But the other one that's really cool is basically, have you used Instructor or Instructor EX or whatever?
I haven't. Oh, actually, I take that back. I have, but like very rudimentary, more like experimental when I was trying to do some like landing page generation stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So we have a very similar thing, which is, we call it prompt backed actions, where basically you can just define an action and then you say, here's what it takes and here's what it returns. And then you just say like the implementation is the prompt. And you say like, it's going to ask OpenAI, and then OpenAI just like does it. And we like handle all of the rigging of like,
and then it returns it returns structured data and
exactly. Yeah. So like cool. The example we have like is like, we have an action called analyze sentiment that returns an atom, and you say like which one of the atoms it is. So what's cool about this, especially, is for people who already know how to use Ash, this is like there's nothing else there's like almost nothing new to learn. And that's like that flywheel effect of like, look, all the concepts compound on top of each other to where like you already know how to write a generic action. That's what these use. You already know how to describe them, how to use arguments and everything. So like for those people, like it feels like magic. They're like, I just add one new line of code that I had to learn, and now I have an AI doing this action instead of my own code. Like, that's crazy.
That's wild. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna have to start playing with this because it's just more Kool-Aid for me to drink.
Right. Yeah. So Barnabas is on the core team. He's going to talk about building like a Discord bot type thing with Ash AI, which is really exciting. He's doing like a meetup talk or something about that.
Oh, nice.
Here soon.
I'll have to have him come on here.
A lot of those things. Yeah, man. I got to tell you, random thing. I haven't really like talked about this in public much, but we're at the point now where the Ash ecosystem is like large enough. There's enough like people and businesses and stuff that like I can't keep drinking from the fire hose like all by myself. And so like a lot of the community steps up over time. code and stuff. Oh yeah, hey, Christian, right? Yes, Christian. You have two first names like I do, so I always get a
We were
little.
just talking about code and stuff.
Yeah, but we yes, prompt back actions can also call tools. Um, oh yeah, so the thing is, there are not too many people who are a part of the community for me to like touch on every single interaction that happens, which is something that I've been doing for basically like 5 years now, which is like every question that doesn't get answered by somebody else gets answered by me. Like
I know
I'm like
you're a
inbox zero.
superhero, dude. I don't know how you do
It's
it.
it's crazy, man. I'm in so many chat rooms and message forums and
And you're just always there. Like I feel like you actually probably have a Zach bot by now. I don't know.
I don't
You're
that's
so
actually just good old
responsive.
human workflows. So
Yeah.
I have a loop. I have a list of links that I just periodically click, and like I have it all like dialed into like where I might get notifications. I
Yeah.
don't even have push notifications. People are like people like get a response from me in like a minute. They assume I got like a push notification, but no, I just check all of the feeds. Like whenever I have downtime, I just check all
Yeah.
my feeds and I end up there quickly.
I'm
But
kind
that's
of the
kind of
same
having to
way.
change
I
too.
I turn off all my notifications, but the sad thing is I like check things so often. I'm just there
Okay, you know what it's
anyways.
like then. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same. It's almost like turning off. I thought about this. Turning off push notifications may actually have made
Made
it
it
worse.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah,
But push
because
notifications make me instantly lose focus of what I'm doing at
right,
that moment. And then I go and want to click on it. So that's why I turned them off.
right, yep. Um, yeah. So probably what's going to start happening here in the near future is like we have a big core team now. There's like 7 people on the core team, if you include myself. They've done a lot of work. And there's a lot of people in the community who are taking like good care of things. So I'm not like going anywhere. I'm not trying to like spook anybody, but I am like, I'm going to have to start selectively just not answering questions because I can't, like literally cannot do this anymore. And that's a good thing. We have so many different people. I mean, there's hundreds of companies using Ash in production now. So it's like, I don't, I don't, I need to be like leave space. Now we've reached the point. People have been telling me to do this for years, and it took a long time for where we get to the point where I think that's actually doable. Where I need to like leave space for other people in the community to actually shine.
Yeah.
But to do that requires me just like sorry everybody, but sometimes like you've all got this muscle memory that if you ask a question, Zach will be there within the like 15 minutes and he'll answer your question.
I know.
That's
Zach
not going
just
to be
needs
true. So
he needs to go camping. He just needs to not have service for a weekend, okay?
mhm. Yep. So some of you guys, I'm going to look at your question and I'm just going to decide not to answer it. And that is all there is to it. And I am sorry about it. But
Actually, I should actually talk to you before I start making my tutorial stuff. And like all the ones that you constantly repeat over and over, I should make sure I answer those questions in my videos.
right. Yeah. I mean, actually, so we actually have, I don't think we can do it with Elixir Forum because their like content rules prevent like using it for an LLM, but I have no such compunction about our support stuff in Discord. That's all publicly mirrored. So we could write like a script that would like, try to like make a, like with Claude,
Yeah,
like
that would be
figure
cool.
out what the commonly asked questions are or something. Yeah, that would be pretty straightforward. I actually already do use it that way. When people ask, I think I told you about this. I don't know. When people ask questions about in Ash now, like if it's just like something they couldn't figure out how to do in the docs, I copy and paste the whole thread, and then I go into Claude and I paste it in and I say, fix the docs so that this person would not have had to ask this question. Like so that like whatever they searched for, they would
Oh,
have found
that's
it.
dope.
It works really well. And like
I
I
love that.
have to change it a lot, but it
Yeah,
actually like it really gets there. It's like
that's cool.
surprisingly effective.
I like
So
that. Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
really good. My problem is like on my YouTube, a lot of like the videos, it's like basic stuff and like now it's been up for a couple years, but you have people
Mm.
that ask specific questions to what you did. I'm like, dude, I don't remember. So I had to go watch
Right.
I had to go watch my video because I don't remember what I said. And like sometimes I'm like,
Right.
oh yeah, that's just a mistake. I didn't know any better. But
Right.
like a lot of times I have to go watch my video and then I have to come up with a question. So like guys, when I respond, like it probably took me a lot longer than you think because I had to go watch my damn video.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. That could be a good case for like if you have like the transcripts or something, you could like
I
just
do.
like
That would be
yeah, so
smart.
just point Claude at the transcript and the question and be like, hey, what do you what do you got for me? I mean, I hate
That
like doing that because I know people like they want us to answer their questions, but I'm like, look, I'll make sure it's right. It
yeah,
doesn't mean
yeah.
I'm personally gonna do all of the research. I don't know, like
Yeah, yeah. Well, like
yeah,
I like to engage, like especially because you start seeing like the same question or questions from the same person over and over. So like
right,
I enjoy that they're like going through my content and they appreciate it. So like you do want to give them special attention, right? But then at the same
right,
time, it can take a lot of time out of your day.
yeah,
And
and
I like
people I think
I don't know how you do it. You impress me.
um yeah. I think people like they don't realize it's complicated. It's complicated, but like it's so asymmetric of a relationship, you know? Like people don't realize like I mean maybe they do, I guess, because I have this reputation, but this is true of almost everybody out there. Like when somebody asks me a question, their question is like the 15th question I've answered today. Like I've been tired for 3 hours and now I'm helping them. And so like like they don't it's like but to them they're like fresh on every encounter and they need something out of it, right? And like I could
Hmm.
always just not be there. I don't have to answer these questions, right? So and I think people are super nice. So I'm not trying to suggest we have like people out there who are like abusing our time or anything, but I do think it's one of those things like you can tell sometimes that like they don't realize the asymmetric relationship that exists in that thing, which is like and this is true for you as well. You get so many different questions, and but to them, it's just the one question they have. Like, what's the big deal? I can't, you just answer my one
Right.
question. Right? So I don't know. It's an interesting kind of relationship.
I like Christian's. Sounds like a great project to vibe code the Discord support questions. That would be a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Well, so that's part of I think what Barnabas is doing. He's one of the actually well one of the big things we have that is a problem that he's working on too with that bot is moving messages. You can't move messages in Discord. And a lot of times we have these like support forum threads that we want people to ask questions in. And
But
if
no
they
one ever
don't,
uses it the way you want them to.
right, exactly. So we're working on being able to move messages to the support forum.
Do you actually like move them, or is it more like a copy and create the forum post?
You have to ask Barnabas. I have no idea.
Okay.
I've just seen like cool clips of it actually working. Um, but yeah, and the problem with Discord can be
Where do I find Barnabas? How do I spell that?
Barnabas. Barnabas. And he has a Jovanovic. I don't know how to say it. But if you search for like Barnabas
I
app,
found
Barnabas
him on
actually,
Elixir Conf. Yeah.
yeah,
All
there you
right.
go.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's doing a lot of
I
cool things.
recognize him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would say too, like he's actually kind of like leading the way on a lot of like the AI assisted development stuff. Like even so, he works at Alembic as well,
Okay.
and he's doing a lot of that firsthand stuff and like finding what works and what doesn't work. Um, and he's very like I don't know, he's got like a tasteful approach to it where like he doesn't like he's like really trying to stretch these tools, but like the code that he commits is all still very high quality and like reviewed and all that sort of stuff, which is
Hmm.
like really cool. So I've been learning a lot from the work that he does, and clients are happy and that sort of thing. So it's really nice.
That's awesome. I think everyone, like at least the team that I'm on at Collects, we're trying to leverage, we're trying to 10x our output, but still create quality code, and that's the tightrope right now, right? Is figuring that workflow out.
Right. Oh, that was earlier today. Okay, cool. I hope that was recorded. The Barnabas's Ash AI Discord demo was today. I didn't realize.
Oh,
Um,
sweet. I hope that was recorded
yeah,
too, because I want to check it out.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think honestly, if you're maintaining quality, I really do believe that you're only likely to get a 1.5x productivity increase
Yeah.
out
Well,
of
because like
AI.
even
Right.
if you're not writing code, you have to review it. So you still have to
Right.
use your
Exactly.
brain as you're reading the code. So like at first I hated it because I have like very small windows of my day where I can focus, where I want to do really in-depth PRs. Like if you open a PR and you see like 20 files or more are changed, you're like, ugh, like I don't want to do that. So like, and now I feel like, using LLMs, that's all you do is code review.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that it is. Yeah. I mean, the answer is to like make it really digestible changes, but then but that's the thing that I'm trying to kind of get at when I say like that 1.5x thing. It's like because you can't just let it write a 2,000 line PR. Like, like you have to actually do the upfront thinking about it, and you actually have to know how your app works and like probably where the change is going to be and how it might work. And then you have to decide then, okay, is this the type of thing like, because at some point you have an understanding enough of it. Maybe you should just type the code because like it's not going to take that long. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's why there's only some situations you get to where you're like, okay, actually, it's going to take me a long time to type, but it's not complicated. And it looks like other things. And then you go to the LLM. And so it's like, yeah, it saves you an hour or two maybe. And it's like, but I don't think that this concept where people are like vibe coding full apps, like it's just, I mean, for choice, for fun stuff, I don't care. I don't care.
I do think it's possible, right? Like I've been impressed with our vibe coding sessions where we don't allow ourselves to write any code, but there's a lot of back and forth. Like if you don't know what you're looking at, you would create a lot of garbage. Like, and then when it starts like hallucinating packages and things, like then you end up with a broken app, especially like you were saying, if you just let it go and write 2,000 lines of code, you're not going to review that. And then you don't even know what's in your code base. And that's why all these people have security vulnerabilities and whatever else they're doing.
Yeah, totally. I think that's too, like, there's that aspect, like Ash helps with all those sorts of fronts really in my book, which is like, not only does it make it less often that you actually have to vibe code things because it's not complicated to add things, like, it's, certain things are quite easy, but it also just keeps you on the guardrails. Like the code that is output is like much more verified, like even from a conceptual standpoint. And that I think is pretty important. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Chaz asks, are you vibing if you care what's in the code base? It's like, that's the actual thing. Like I don't think we vibe code. We don't vibe program.
Because you care what's going, because isn't that like, didn't someone say like, you just got to trust the LLM, bro? That's how you vibe.
Yeah. Like what is like lean into the vibes or something, or
like, well, then you're going to create garbage. And like, honestly, I don't care if you create garbage, but the second you have a user base, that's where I have a problem, right? Because you have people's user information, you have personal data. You can't just put nasty stuff out there and not protect it. I don't know.
Somebody was talking about this on Twitter. It's like some TypeScript authentication library raised like $5 million on a VC fund. And somebody was like, I would just vibe code my authentication, which, okay, I use that like really offensive. But anyway, somebody said that they would just vibe code their authentication. And I was like, that's like the one thing
you don't want to do.
Vibe code that, right? Like use an off-the-shelf solution and vibe code every other thing. I don't care, but like, well, it's like maybe not that one.
Anything that has to do with money and security, like authentication, don't write that code. There's really good packages out there for you to not F it up, like double ledger stuff and like things like that. You don't want to write those solutions. There's a lot of work behind that.
Right. And I'll tell you what, your customers or your bosses are not going to take, well, Claude did it as like an excuse. You know what I mean? Like the buck stops. And this is actually, I had a whole debate online about this, about whether or not you should tag your commits, like whether or not your commits should show that like Claude did them. And I think there's pros and cons. So I'm not trying to suggest that like there's no, like that the people who on the other side of this are like fully wrong, but I think the answer is no. I don't think you should tag your commits as Claude, because that gives you like some level of excuse. Like it's like, no, you came up with that code. It is your responsibility. You proposed it as a change to this repository. So I don't give a shit if it was Claude. Oh, sorry. I was like, did I just get demonetized or something? I don't know.
Oh no, I don't care. I think you can swear on YouTube, can't you?
All right. I don't know how it works, but I don't care if it was Claude or if it was whatever, or if it was like your intern. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like you're the one that is on the hook for this. and whose reputation
Yeah.
will be damaged if this is garbage or something like that. So
I can't believe you demonetized me. I just lost like two pennies.
oh my gosh, I'll pay you back.
um,
I'll buy you a beer
so I
next
have
time
I have the same thing. Like, what was that thing that just went viral where that dude was working like 4 or 5 jobs and
oh yeah
all these
What's his name?
like Y
Silk Ham or
incubator
something.
people were all pissed off about it. But I'm like, why do you care
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
if he's actually getting his work done?
Well, that is the thing. He wasn't. So
Oh, okay. Well, then fire him. Like, that's simple.
Right, exactly. So the problem is that I completely agree. Like, if he's getting his work done, it doesn't matter. There are some like fraud issues with that in some regard, where it's like if you're like subcontracting work, you're supposed like it's supposed to be like disclosed and stuff like that. But like if there's I don't care that if somebody has 5 jobs and then they like farm it out to somebody.
Yeah.
But the problem is that what he was basically doing is he was like, it's not like arbitrage, but like he's basically like starting a job, getting like 3 months of paycheck before they realize he's not doing anything. But the whole time he's just like getting more jobs along the way. So his income was just from like how was the time it took for them to realize that he was doing a bad job and should be fired. That's like the problem with that whole situation.
Okay, I see. I guess I didn't fully understand. I thought he was just like farming it out. And I'm like, yeah, but if he's like actually producing, do you really care how the code got there if it's good code?
See, I agree. I feel the same way about LLMs, right?
Same.
I'm like, if it's a value add to the ecosystem
Yeah.
or to Ash or whatever, the thing is, like, I'm like, yeah, I don't care how you got it. I mean, well, I don't like steal it or something.
Yeah.
I guess there's an argument that like all code from an LLM is some kind of theft, but I don't know.
I mean, I think it's going to be. I mean, obviously, I don't think anything's going to happen there, but where I feel like you see the greatest impact of that is like art, like actual art, where LLMs can actually steal the look and vibe of an artist. I think that's really effed up. But then like the writing code is, there's creative behind it. So it is kind of all theft when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I could tell, I want to tell Claude Code like, hey, I want to write this code like Zach Daniel.
Right.
Here's all his open source libraries. It probably would.
I mean, but look, that stuff is MIT licensed. I don't care. Go for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I like, please do it. I mean, I literally make usage rules so that people can do exactly what you described.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true.
in a systemic way. Like, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Chaz makes a good point. He's like, that guy could have made way more money if he just started a consultancy. It's true.
I believe it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the game he was playing. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know. I partly feel like it's a little overblown, whatever that guy was doing. Like,
it seems stressful to just keep repeating the interview process. Like, I hate interviewing. It's the worst thing in the world.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Like maybe if you're just really good at interviewing, if that's his thing, right? And he's like, oh, how do I monetize being good at getting jobs?
I'm really good at leak code, bro.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not good at actually doing jobs, but I'm great at getting them. Chaz is talking about something in chat that's funny. He said that so I posted a blog post on my website about how I use LLMs, and I have a bunch of like prompt recommendations and all this different stuff, but one of them says something about like ask for Zach's approval or something, and he copied it into his own stuff, and it was trying to ask like him for Zach's approval for something. Like,
oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That is good. Yeah, ask for Zach. Yeah. So every time someone uses the Ash framework, they have to come and ask you if they can make this change.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I was even thinking, like, I think a lot about what we could do with the Ash AI Dev MCP, because like I could, like, when somebody like gets an error, like, I don't know, there could be like an open GitHub issue on Ash repository that like would allow their LLM to like open a GitHub issue for them or something, like that would like automatically capture all of the details, like the versions of all
really
their stuff.
Noisy though.
Exactly. Like, or I've even thought about one that would give it access to search the Discord channel. So you could like
ask for help from Discord. You not ask for help, but you could like we could have like a search Ash help docs that would search like multiple places, you know, the GitHub issues and the Discord and maybe Elixir forum. I don't know, but
Dude,
and then it would like find
what, like, this has my brain spinning. Like, my Discord channel, like, I have awesome guys in there that always like go detailed into answering questions. But like, yeah, if I could scrape all those answers and then like take all the transcripts to all my videos I've ever made and then have like an Elixir like LLM on my website, like, how cool would that be?
have you heard of Notebook LM? It's like a Google. Oh man, this will blow your mind. It's honestly like the first time I saw this, I was like, the end is like, this is the end. Like I felt like actual like existential dread.
This is a Google product. Yeah.
Yeah. So what that is it's like this. It's like an LLM with massive context windows. So you can upload entire books, like multiple books and PDFs and all this sort of stuff. And you can like, I think you can like link to YouTube videos. You can do all this sort of stuff, right? And then it will. I mean, honestly, I feel like we should just like do this. We should just set up Notebook LM and like link to some of your YouTube videos and play the podcast. Oh yeah, I didn't want to spoil that. It will make a podcast from the content you gave it with like real people, not real people, but they sound
the
like
voices. Yeah. What? Yes.
It's creepy, dude. Dude,
it's that's wild. So creepy.
Yeah.
I was like, there's enough content of like probably both of us out there that people could just fake us.
Oh yeah. Easy peasy. So I did it actually. I tried it. I uploaded the Ash book into Notebook LM, and then I just listened to a 22-minute podcast about the book.
That's wild, dude.
Oh, and you can. Hold on. I didn't even tell you the craziest part. There's a mode in the podcast where you can join the podcast, and you can talk like as a guest, and talk on it. Like
what?
And they'll respond to you.
Nuh-uh. What?
Yes, they will. I'm telling you. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That's crazy. So there is that feature I want to figure out though for this podcast and my live streams, because like I think it was like you tuned into one of my podcasts recently, and like how cool would it be to just like send someone a link and they can just like join quickly, talk about something, and then skedaddle. Like, yeah, I want to figure out that feature. I think that would be cool.
I've thought about that a lot, because there's like, especially like as we have more and more people who are like kind of stream capable, you know, or like, you know, I'm not like a live streamer primarily, but I do live stream every once in a while. So like I have it set up, and I think like over time, it's like, it makes a lot of sense where you could just like, it seems like you would just want to be able to click a button in like YouTube or Twitch or whatever and be like, hey, you know, add this person as a guest and like pop up their screen, you know, something like.
It'd be so cool. And it can be just audio or video. Leave it up to the guest, and then they can just jump in and give their 2 cents.
Right.
Like that would for example, like if we were talking about Ash with someone else and then you happen to be there, I could just bring you in. Like that would be so cool.
Like, and I could be like, actually, the way that it works is.
And then it's just fake. It's AI because we did it in Notebook LM.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. So I do really think if you want to get creeped out, go look at Notebook LM. Or
I have it open and it's wild. I don't know. I'm gonna do something with it.
It's the end of the end. But you know, on the topic of Ash AI, which you know we haven't really talked that much about, but that's okay. We have AI and LLMs are the topical thing these days. So I've been to a bunch of conferences recently, and they're all like practically just turned into AI conf. You know what I mean? Like even the Elixir ones, like just half AI conf.
Like I get it, but it's also annoying at the same time.
Right. It's like I do it too. I participate in those conversations and I start them. But then at the same time, I'm like, do you guys remember when our job didn't include this, whatever this crap is? Like sometimes I'm like,
well, and then I'm over here like vibe coding applications with people, and I'm just part of the problem. No, but like also when the tools work well, it's really cool to see them in person and share your work. Like, I think sharing workflows is the most important thing, right? Because it helps so many people, especially, I work with a couple guys that were like very hesitant to like jump in and, let LLMs do some of the work. But I think it's super beneficial to at least know how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, regardless, I think it would behoove people. Hey, if you're listening, listeners, viewers, even if you think AI and LLMs are stupid, I would suggest that it's very little harm to get some level of expertise in the things that those people that you hate or whatever are saying works. Just because you want to be able to talk about it, right? Like, you want to be able to have like an educated conversation about it. And so I really would suggest just suspending disbelief and giving it a shot, and multiple times, because it all changes when you start realizing, hold up, I can do this better and I can do this worse. And then you start realizing, okay, well, I did that thing and it was better. I did this thing and it was better. And you start actually building up a workflow and an intuition and all these sorts of things. But you have to get through that first phase where you're like one-shotting, where you're like, hey, Claude, build me a e-commerce app that has subscriptions. And then you're like, oh, wait, that doesn't work. You can't do that. Like, so anyway, even if you think it's dumb, just try it out.
The first vibe coding I did with Daniel and Andrew, they basically just taught me how to use Claude Code, and we got Tidewave up and running, which I thought was pretty dang dope. This dude just made like he commented on it like after the fact. He's like, "This was pathetic," and I was like,
"Yeah, right."
I was like, what? Like, what? Like, why? Like, first of all, it's just for fun. Like, you don't have to get angry about a random live stream. He's like, you didn't notice how much you were struggling with this crappy tool? I was like, it built like an entire like live view polling app. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, there was very little struggle. But yeah, some people get incredibly angry over LLM usage.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a truism in tech that some people get incredibly angry over, and then just anything, put anything in that blank.
That's true.
You're going to get, I mean, like, I've been building, look, this is interesting because people don't realize this whole thing is not new to me at all. I've been building Ash for 5 years, and even the Elixir ecosystem itself, there are a lot of people whose opinions I respect, who are convinced that Ash is like really bad. It's a very bad idea. It's not a good way to do anything. Like, and that's, I don't mind that, but it's not new to me, this experience of a bunch of people will hate anything. And for what it's worth, a bunch of people will love anything. Like, I don't know how much of Ash, when it was first coming out, it wasn't that great. Like, it took a long time for us to get to this point where I think it's like an excellent piece of tech, and we still have bugs and all this sort of stuff. We still figure it out. But early on, I always wondered, like, is it just that I'm persuasive? Like, there's a cult of personality here that I can convince people that I have good tools, and then they use them and they're fine, but it's actually just access to me that made it work, not actually how good the tech is itself. And so this game of like people telling you that, oh, that's pathetic and all this sort of stuff. It's not new to me.
Well, honestly, the more like at first with my YouTube channel, there's like zero hate. And then you slowly start watching it trickle in. It just kind of makes me happy because it means more eyes are getting on Elixir content.
Right. Yeah.
So like, that's cool. Yeah. Like, you guys can talk trash.
Yeah, exactly. Like Lars Vikman, he does like he's all in the nerves community.
The Beam. He's on the Beam Radio podcast too, right?
Yep. Yeah. So he really early on, we were having a conversation about this a couple of years ago now, I think at this point. And he was like, look, if nobody disagrees with you, and if everybody likes what you're saying, then you're not actually saying anything at all. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that like that does help a lot. It doesn't solve the entire problem of like, well, people are assholes sometimes, but it does at least give you this perspective of like, look, at least you're adding something to the conversation. Like, even if I'm saying something and people are like, it solidifies for people that they don't want to use it and they actually like this other thing, then I'm like, okay, cool. And I help. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I helped you figure out what you do and don't like. That's fine. So, you have to like, I I don't know. I say you have to have thick skin, but also like you talk to Jose and he's a big proponent for like not treating open source developers in that way. Like open source developers shouldn't have to have thick skin, you know, like the people around them should not be assholes is actually the thing.
I mean, ideally, right? In an ideal world, people shouldn't be assholes, but unfortunately it's the real world and people are assholes.
Yeah, it is. And I think there's some aspect of like, if you're willing to do the sort of work that I do and the sort of work that you do, where you put yourself out there, like you understand you're exposing yourself to some percentage of people who, you know, maybe who don't like you for a good reason. Like we all have flaws. Maybe like they're like, you know, or maybe they don't like my tech for a good reason. Like
I've said some really dumb things a lot, and it's all over YouTube, you know?
Same. Yeah. I mean, happens. So it's exactly, but you just, you know, I do think there's a bit of it of like, well, what do you think was going to happen? Like you thought you were going to publish a bunch of YouTube videos and no weirdo was going to come out of the woodwork.
You know, honestly, I thought I was like mentally prepared when I first started it for like all the hate, dude. I thought I was going to get so much. And honestly, you know, 99% of the people out there, at least that are watching Elixir videos, are really nice. So
yeah, I mean, look, the Elixir ecosystem, I mean, this is one of the biggest reasons I'm still here. The Elixir community, I mean, is like really just by and large quite good. You know, there's not everybody is a saint, you know, and that's fine. We got our bad eggs, I guess. But ultimately, it's just people are nuanced. Like they think about things, they you know, apply some critical thought before they speak, and a lot of it comes. Look, a community is always a reflection of its leadership, right? And that all comes from Jose, right? Like that. I mean, now there's enough community that there's more leadership, right? And that are, you know, bringing sort of. But I think that concept of like being kind and like thinking before you speak and all these different things like that was brought in by Jose and then pushed by, you know, then the people who liked that, you know, joined in the community and now they have those same ethos and stuff like that. So I agree, like by and large, we have probably the friendliest programming community that I've seen. And I've participated in a fair few, and programming communities are not normally a very nice place to be.
No, developers can be ruthless, dude. And they love to like do the, I don't know, what would you like, flex the brain power. Like I'm so much smarter than you. I don't know why I'm blanking on the word I want to use.
Well,
but
I don't know the word, but like ego gets into this game so much. You know what I mean? Like we so many of conversations you think are technical conversations where you're like debating the merits of one piece of technology and another, but no, you're just having ego conversations of like this. You know, I like my programming language better. And because like if yours is better, then that means I'm dumb, and I'm not dumb. So like that's really the conversation you're having like 9 times out of 10, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I like look, I'll lay out things like here's why I like Elixir, here's why I use it, but like I don't want to have a debate with you about why using Rust would be so much better.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, that's the thing. People, a lot of times, like, just don't use the thing. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, not everybody is trying to maximize. Like, just because I use it doesn't mean I think you have to. I think there may be some things you might want to look into, and like maybe you know, but like this is one of those things of like if we do have a better product, like as in if our ecosystem and tooling and stuff actually is better, then like reality will push enough people in our direction, in addition to what we do when we talk to the community and we, you know, spread the word or whatever. Right. But we don't have to like you said, we don't have to debate anybody about it.
Right.
Like it's fine.
Chaz goes, there's no need for debate. Obviously we use the superior language.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I mean,
yeah, I think
you got to see the light. Like I think like when like I started in iOS and Swift, but that's all front end, right? I think there's a place for native apps, so that will exist. But then when I became more of a backend engineer, I started using Node.js, Express, and all of that. And you start seeing the pain points when your user base grows and when you have to start scaling things, and it gets old. And then you find this magical ecosystem, and it just works well. It works better.
Yeah, look, I think we can all we can all agree there's no absolute truths except for the fact that JavaScript on the server is a bad idea. That's the one that I will die on that hill. That it's just like, and I am not one of those people who are like, oh, JavaScript sucks or anything like that. It's like, no, it's just JavaScript on the server. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Every other,
like, you know, JavaScript, it's impressive kind of what it turned into and how it's used, honestly.
right.
Because it was kind of like, it's an accident. It shouldn't be as popular as it is for like a web language, but it is what it is. And it adapted and solved a problem.
Yeah. I mean, look, the dream of WebAssembly is alive. I don't know what's going to happen, but theoretically speaking, WebAssembly should allow us to write, our front ends in any programming language. And I cannot wait for that to be an actual realistic world. And we have that stuff happening in Elixir, right? Popcorn VM that it's like was announced at a recent conference talk. That's like based off of Atom VM, and it's like a subset of the Beam virtual machine that can run in a browser with WebAssembly. We're like, yeah, right. I mean, like theoretically speaking, Elixir for the browser is coming. Like someday. I don't know.
It'll be a good time to be alive.
So somebody in chat was saying you hate something sometimes if you do not know it or understand it. I hated Ash initially because of all that DSL, but later, once I got more articles in the book, I realized what Ash is solving. This is actually really interesting. Some of our biggest critics, they were critics before they used it. Then they had some problem and they were like, I bet Ash probably solves that pretty well, and they use it. And now they're like our biggest evangelists. Like there are people who have in the past said I would never ever use something like Ash, use Ash or anything like it. And that same person has said, I would never build something without it now. So it is really interesting. Like the lesson there is that misconceptions abound, right? People think they know what it is or how it works, and they don't get through the hump, and then they're stuck with that misconception.
So I actually never talked trash about it. It was just very hard for me to grasp it, so I could move faster building without it. And then, like I said, when your book came out, it just gave me a good reference. So like when I got stuck, I could go find something and be like, oh, this is how I do it. And so that changed a lot for me because, look, I enjoy just writing, Elixir and Phoenix apps, write your own ecto schemas and your migrations, however you want to do it. But I'll tell you right now, if you're building a product, the fact that you just put your resource together and then you code gen your migrations, and you don't really have to think about anything on the database side. Once you write your resource and actions, that's such a time saver.
Yeah. And you were mentioning people who are like, how do I switch to Ash? I'm like, or how do I, people ask with their apps right now. They're like, how do I migrate this to Ash? And I'm like, stop. Don't do it. Don't migrate it to Ash. Unless you can articulate a concrete, until you can articulate a reason why your current set of tools is insufficient, then you have no business changing anything, right? You have to have an actual problem. So otherwise it's just shiny object syndrome where you're like, oh, Ash looks cool, I want to use it, right? So that's always where it comes down to is some event. And that's why a lot of times what I focus on is just more capability to prove what I've been saying for years of making it actually better. Look how all these things plug and play. And so now it's people see, okay, it's doing enough of this thing that I need, and it claims to solve this problem that I have. So now it's worth the effort to figure out how to actually leverage it. So that's where I've been mostly working on that of we've improved the learning curve and the hump, but primarily I'm making the payoff better because I can only do so much about the learning curve right now. There's only so much that you can do. I mean, I don't know, the book, the docs, it's gotten a lot better, but
dude,
but the payoff
usage rules, you don't even really have to know Ash. You just have to understand the fundamentals of what a resource is, how actions work, and pretty much can let your LLM do the work.
Right. And I would say if you have the usage rules and now you're in a better position to use the LLM to learn, because like it has all this context. So you can like, what is this thing? Why does it do this? It's not just like making crap up on the fly. It's actually like got, hundreds of lines of example code and it's telling you about that. Right. So
Yeah.
I think I haven't advised this much because I'm just nervous about the idea, but I've been considering like telling people like that the best way, like before you ask me, you should probably kick up a blank project with usage rules in it and ask Claude.
For real. Yeah.
But I mean, we might actually do that. We might actually before long that might be something that Barnabas's bot does also, which is like in the background goes off and reads a bunch of docs and then like tries to give the person an LLM generated answer. Like not exclusively, it would just be a first attempt of like, hey, here's what, I don't know, Ashbot came up with. Does this answer your question? Because that could be a really good way to save a lot of time. Because probably a lot of times it's going to be like, it'll be right.
For real. And
just
then you can just on your homepage, have your chat bot just be the LLM, right? And then I can go to your website and ask any question I need.
Well, okay. I don't want to do that because then all my tokens are going to be gone. It's going to be so expensive.
That's true.
Yeah. So we could do it if we put it behind like authentication. But the beauty of the Discord server version of it is that we can easily ban people who are abusing it. And you can't do that if it's not like a public home.
Yeah, fair. That's a good point.
But I mean, look, we happen to have this framework that makes it really easy to build apps that you can like sign into and do other nice things. So we could add like authentication to Ash HQ. And then it's like, you just have to like ask to get an account and, but I don't know. I'm going to churn through. Like I fund that stuff, like whatever.
Yeah. Well, you just have to like make people use their own API keys.
Yeah. Wait. No, that's a good point. Actually, we just like we can support like Anthropic and OpenAI, and it's just like, hey, put your API key in here, and you get our workflow, but it just uses your API key. That'd be pretty straightforward.
Go. Yeah, because I mean, you generate those things for specific projects anyways, so they can always disable that key if they don't trust what you're doing with it.
You know what I think actually? Oh, dude, this is a good idea. Okay, having a thought here. Okay, Ash Admin is like a live view admin thing that you can run from your app.
Mm-hmm.
We can just add a chat panel, like a chat tab. So it's like runs, kind of like how everything in Elixir does, which is actually really cool. It like all just like runs in your app,
Mm-hmm.
We can just have a chat panel in your app. And I'll think about it because we could do that. That's one way. There's also the MCP that we have though, like whatever workflow we have for searching our docs and all that stuff, we can just build that into the MCP server. So then you can use whatever agent you're using. But I think we should focus on this a little bit more and basically say like, hey, the best way to get a lot of it's about user experience. That's a hard thing.
Right.
If they're in Discord and they want to ask a question, if I have to say the best way to get an answer to your question is to clone down and run a real app, and then like run a thing and set up Claude, you know what I mean? That's unreasonable,
Right.
So having it in Discord might be important for that reason. Make it accessible.
Yeah. Well, I like Discord, dude. I think Discord's really cool with like all the Discord apps, games, bots that you can create with it. Right. And could you create a bot where you have to kind of be an authenticated user though? And then everything you ask that bot would go through your API key? You probably could. I don't know how the UX would actually feel.
Yeah. You would have a slash command called like register.
Oh yeah,
register
that would work.
And then you would say it would track like your username, and then you would say, here's my API key.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That'd be dope.
Yeah. That'd be pretty interesting. Oh, Barnabas is here. Hey, Barnabas, we're making more work for you. Yeah.
Barnabas, I just followed you on X, and I want to get you on as a guest. So I hope you like talking on live streams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got to get more. He's one of the new guard who's got to start taking over for me a little bit more.
So we're gonna start seeing him pop up everywhere 10 seconds after a question's asked.
I don't know about that. We'll see. I mean, it's got to be more people, but we'll see. I do. I think I'm like, I want to, if I get my way, I'll be like, more like Guru Zach up at the top back. You hear from me on the big hairy stuff, but not every single question. We'll see. Barnabas asked if you can add him on X.
Oh, he said he doesn't use X, but Blue Sky. Yeah. Well, I deleted my Blue Sky account because I hated being on so many social media.
I feel you.
People go both ways. I like the wildness of X. You just see so much wild shit on X. And then Blue Sky was, I don't know.
It's pretty tame by comparison. But there's a lot of the Elixir community is over there. Like I feel bad. I had to stop doing X because it was just like such a time sink for me. Like Blue Sky is a lot more like chill. Like there's still plenty of people there, but there's just, well, I don't know. Like I don't like scroll and see like people dying halfway across the planet Earth, it's just like less like crap like that. And I don't get like ads for weird shit. And like, I don't pay for like premium X and all that sort of stuff.
I feel like my feed is like pretty much what I'm interested in. I haven't seen people dying, so that's good.
But I didn't do anything special. I don't search for this stuff. It's just, it defaults to For You for me. Like sometimes it's always showing me like weird stuff, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, I stay off the For You. I always just go on my following tab.
Yeah, well, I like the Blue Sky. I like
their algorithm.
You can like remove. You can just get rid of like, it's a lot more customizable. I guess that's the real thing that I've seen is like, I don't have a For You page on Blue Sky. There is no feed of like esoteric stuff that the algorithm thinks I want. I follow like feeds, like specific things,
Maybe someday I'll go back, but I hate being on too many social media apps. That's the problem.
Totally. I feel you on that front. I think, but also Barnabas is on Discord. You can just add him as a friend on Discord.
All right, cool. Discord. I'm always on Discord.
Right. Yeah. Same. I'm like, I half wonder if Discord is going to be like, I don't know if they realize like they're like so close to like, they could swallow up so many social media type markets. You know what I mean? Like, dude. And like all of the automation and the bots and all this other stuff, so good. Nothing else has anything like that I know of.
What would be really dope is, how Discord has their theater where you can like do presentation channels, basically. Like we could do this in a Discord. Yeah, we could do this in a Discord channel. It could be video. Dude, I don't know if they have an API for it already, but like if Restream would let me stream to my Discord channel too, that would be so dope. Like Discord's cool. And then like just the apps, and the games that you can make on Discord, you can make things so much more interactive. Yeah, Discord is a really cool platform.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea. That's an interesting thing. Like if you could do it, I even think it would be cool if you could do it because you were talking about having guests on. So I bet Discord would solve that. If Discord could be like the source of your live stream. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And like, then you can just like add a guest by inviting them onto the stream there.
So
and then
Discord, let me do my streams, but also share it on all the other platforms. I need that option. And then that would be cool. Because then you just have your guests join your Discord and you you select people like, oh, this is a speaker. And then everyone else just is defaulted to listener participant.
Yeah. I think that would be pretty cool. Barnabas, I agree with you. I don't want an algorithm in Discord. I'm just saying there's a lot of things they could, that they could add to like, I think the streamer thing, that whole like streaming community building thing, they could be the center point for that a lot more.
Well, they already are. Like you have your like micro groups, right? Like you're already set up that way. So like then you stream just to your people, which is kind of cool. And what would be really cool is like if I could recommend, your server too on mine, so people like you can kind of like connect. Like this is a friend of our server, like friend server. Like that would be cool.
I've thought about this too. Like I wish that you could network the servers and have like imagine if like like I feel like if you think of like the Elixir Discord, kind of almost like at the maybe not the top, but like kind of central one, and then there's like all of the streamers and all of the frameworks have their own, and it's a shared channel. So like people
That would
from
be
either
cool.
server can comment in that channel, and then in the shared channel it would say like shared from, and so it's like, so there's more channels about this thing over here, and like you build this sort of like graph of easily discoverable channels, and I think it would help reduce some of the burden. Like I have an Ash framework channel in like 5 Discords. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't
But like, what would
all be the same channel?
What would be really cool is I could like kind of tag you, but it's not, you don't get added to another channel. You kind of just see it.
Right.
Or to another server. You can just like join the Elixir node. That would be dope.
Oh, that's, like you could be like, that's kind of cool. So it's like you have this way to like summon people in a way, or like let them know.
Yeah, but then you can also be like, dude, Elixir Mentor is annoying, and you can just block it. And you could just like opt out of certain servers. But I think that would be cool. I'm just seeing like a neural network of nodes.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we always get to this thing of like, any software engineers talking long enough and they're like, we should make a social network. But I mean, there's like, AT protocol does video. I think I saw somebody doing video. Like maybe it's like built it on top of that in some way that like networks people or something. Because Discord, that's a big problem with really customizing Discord, is it's like proprietary. They can rug pull it at any time. It's not like an open system or anything like that. But like I don't really care if they just made those features. Then I would like I would be like, you can only find me on Discord now. Like, sorry,
that would be so dope.
If that, right.
And then like think about like I enjoy like all your Substack stuff. Imagine if you allowed like, if I could have an Elixir Mentor like blog inside of Discord. That'd be cool too.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I got to think about those Substacks, my dude. Like my personal blog is fine, but the Ash Weekly, can I just tell you, can I give the world a piece of advice? Yes. Don't ever name a newsletter after how often you're going to publish it. Because now every time I've missed a week like 2 or 3 times, and I always have to be like, sorry, no Ash Weekly this week. But if I called it Ash periodically or like Ash updates, I could have, then there would have been no rules, right? But because I called it Ash Weekly, I really screwed myself.
Can you rename a Substack?
I think I read somewhere that you could do it once, which is plenty for me. I might just call it like,
don't mess up. You just got to come up with a good name. Right? Call it Ash occasionally.
Yeah, I actually like that, Ash occasionally. Yeah, I don't know. I just think like a weekly newsletter is like really hard to keep up with, and I've already done like 20 of them or something, or 21 of them, but yeah, it was a little silly.
Chaz said it'd be sick to have like a single feed from all the sources, like put together an RSS feed. That could be cool too.
Yeah. Every time I try to set up RSS readers, and like, but then there's this interesting problem of like, that all sounds good until you actually have all of the content fire hosing at you.
That's
and you're
true.
Actually me only being present in some places was like a mechanism for me not to drown in content, but like if I saw like I'm already basically doing that. I mean, like all Elixir spaces anywhere. I watch all of the live streams, and it is a lot. Like
it is.
It's a lot. So
I'm really bad at staying up to things, so I just make people come and talk to me.
Right. I mean, that's what's going to happen now. Like I have to enter this, for me at least, I have to enter this phase of like,
you know what you need?
I can't keep like,
you need a podcast.
Oh my God.
But that's all you do.
Do another thing.
No, but that's all you do. That's the only availability you have to people. Boom.
Right. I mean, we have a monthly Ash office hours where people can ask questions, but I don't know. Probably what's going to happen is, like I said, I'm going to be just a little bit less around, and Ash Weekly is going to turn into like Ash Monthly or something. Or, well, I'm not going to call it Ash Monthly.
Ash occasionally.
Yeah, Ash occasionally.
Well, that's funny. Like someone, I forget who it was. Someone said like, dude, I don't like, having a podcast is stressful because then you feel obligated, like whether it's like a weekly podcast or a monthly podcast, whatever you do, you're set to that schedule and you always have to have guests. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I just like, I'm a hopefully weekly guy, but also
Right.
I don't stress if I don't book a guest for a certain week and I just don't
Right.
have an episode that week. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't put the extra pressure on, dude.
Yep. I feel you. And I mean, I think the other thing too, I've had to ask myself is like, well, what am I doing? Like, am I like an influencer, or am I like a technologist? I mean, I know like we're all a little bit of all of those things, you know what I mean? Like, you're a programmer and a streamer and, I guess influencer. I don't know if that's,
I
like,
don't
a word
know what
people
I
like.
am. I'm like,
Right. But
I like to share my idiocracy online, I guess.
yeah. We're sharing our idiocracy together. I think the thing for me is what I realize is like, I kind of have to like make a call as to like, am I going to be like other people have to do this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I can talk about Ash every once in a while. Like I can go, I can give a conference talk and stuff like that. But like, I can't be doing all the podcasts and all the everything. Like other people got to hop on.
Yeah.
There's enough like y'all do it, like you guys.
I mean, like, here's the way I look at it. Like, I'm a decent programmer. I'm like pretty good, but I'm okay with not creating a framework, So here I'll just have smart people come on and I'll talk to them and there's my space. Then I help form good conversation around cool projects, right? But I don't have to build the cool projects necessarily. Because like everything that I've built is like a product at some point. It's not like some crazy cool new piece of technology. It's just like usually a way to make money. And that's like, I'm okay with that. That's my lane,
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah, I'm going to be staying a little bit more in my lane as well. Like,
and just build cool stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I also like, there's this aspect of building products with Ash and stuff. Like, because like Ash is like a pragmatic type thing. Like the goal is to like make something that people can use to like make money or build ambitious things or build things that they wish they had, but they couldn't build before, all that sort of stuff. Right. But like, I don't personally get to benefit from that, like ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I have a platform that I was able to build in like a month because of Ash, and it's already making money. It's not good money, but revenue stream. It's growing every day, which is pretty dope to see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that, folks? That's the proof in the pudding.
It's true.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm excited to do our live stream coding. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we'll stay more on like the technical track when we have some code to look at. You know what I mean? Like,
because we're just going to be building, but then I'm going to just talk you into turning it into a whole vibe coding session, and then.
Look, I'm here for it. Like, yeah, I think it would be good. Like, I feel like maybe we should like kind of mix it up a little bit.
I think mixing it up would be good. Like, hit some of the important aspects of how Ash works, like what a resource is, what an action is, write some of that stuff manually so people get it. But we can also show how well usage rules works and how well we can just generate code too. Because I think it's a game changer.
Yeah, it is definitely like, and okay, this is the other thing. I've been saying, people talk about this with Ash, that it's like actually like really like well geared towards working with LLMs. But here's the thing. You couldn't write similar Phoenix usage rules. Like again, it's not Ash versus Phoenix, but if you just didn't have something like Ash, there is nothing to write rules about. It's just a bunch of stuff. It's just like ideas. It's not like actual concrete things that you can use. So it's like, that's part of the thing. Ash is this huge ecosystem with ways to do all these different things. So that means we can write rules that are true. Like that actually is how you do that. It's not just like somebody's opinion about it. So I think it's one of those things, like, I do think in the long run, things like Ash, these like declarative tools, are the future, because it's something you can actually teach an LLM how to do versus just like winging it
You know what I think you should do if people are leveraging like Ash AI and stuff too much? You should like sneak authored code, like authored by Zach Daniel, into people's into people's code base.
Yeah, like we're like when they're instead of like in a commit that's like co-authored by Claude, it'll just be like co-authored by Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I should make a GitHub user for Ash Framework itself, co-authored by Ash Framework.
Dude, Claude is so annoying. Sometimes, like, if I have it, like, I'll be like, okay, make like just a brief commit message for me, because it's pretty awesome, right? It'll like bullet point it out. I had to put in my knowledge base to not add co-authored by Claude, and it doesn't even listen to that half the time. I have to be like, no, remove that.
There's a setting for it.
There's a whole setting in Claude
you can
code?
turn it off.
What?
In Claude code. It's like settings.json. Yeah, nobody knows this.
All right. I'm going to add that because I add it to my markdown, but it like ignores it half the time.
Yeah, because the setting tells it to do it. So if you fix the setting, it'll go away. It'll stop.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm fixing the setting.
See, Chaz hit this on the head. He said the problem is who is going to bite the bullet and write those guides. This is the thing. This is the number one thing I'm going to stop doing. I'm going to do stuff for Ash that I think that I need or that I think we need, but very much the vibe going forward is going to be like PR is welcome. You know what I mean? Like if you want, like that sounds like a great idea, but like I'm not going to do it. And I'm already getting to that point where I like.
Dude, I tell like people that want to like, especially like new developers, they're like, well, how can I get like involved in open source projects? It's like you submit a PR for documentation and fixing documentation.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way ever.
I can't tell you how many times that people will say like, so whenever you make a contribution to Ash, I like give you a special role, a contributor role in the Discord channel. And I say like, congrats on the pink name because it's a pink role name. It doesn't matter.
Nice.
But, people are like, oh, it was just docs. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like docs are, I will review docs all day. I care. Like, think about it. When somebody commits a feature or a bug fix, that's like crap I have to maintain. When somebody fixes docs, you're like actually you're alleviating work for me because it's like one less person getting confused. Please, even just little things like if a sentence doesn't read correctly to you, or if this one little paragraph is confusing, just make a PR. It doesn't, and maybe I'll disagree with you and it won't get merged. It doesn't matter, but just get in that habit. Like I've always been amazed. Like people will be like, oh, this was confusing. And I'm like, okay, it was confusing. You understand it now. It will take you can do it in the GitHub UI. You don't even have to like send you don't have to do it even from your editor.
Yeah. You don't even have to pull the project.
Like
can
there's a
directly
fucking pencil at the top right of the document. Yeah. So I think that, I wish people would have more initiative on the documentation stuff. And they always say like, oh, I don't really know, I don't have all the context. And I'm like, look, just like,
but if you used a portion of the framework and that part of the docs confused you, you don't have to understand the full context. You can just fix that portion.
Right, exactly. And like, accept, like you have to like get over the idea that your PR might be rejected. Like, yes, it might be rejected, but we all learned as part of it. Like, just make a PR and maybe I'll be like, actually, that's not quite how it works. And probably it'll go through a couple rounds. I'll be like, actually, like, I think it would be better, make more sense to, and then we're going to arrive at a nice thing. Your PR will get merged and the world is a better place. So like
Chaz said that Christian is doing a lot of Reactor stuff on his channel. Do you want to tell me what Reactor is? I don't know if I know.
Yeah. So Reactor is a graph-based async first saga orchestrator, I think is what you would call it. But basically, okay, the best way to think about it, are you familiar with like GitHub Actions, like for CI?
Yeah.
Just like you have a bunch of steps and you say like which step depends on which other steps, and then everything gets run, in parallel if it does, if it can. Reactor is that, but for Elixir. So it's like a DSL, you define all of your steps, and then you say like this step uses the result of this step and all of this sort of stuff. And then it'll run it like every step that can run async will run like in, concurrently. And Christian has a really good video actually about it.
I'll have to check that out. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the difficulty with Reactor is essentially that like, if you're just working with like, your local stuff, you shouldn't really use Reactor. Like if it's just transactions, like you can use a database transaction and make sure everything gets rolled back and all that. Then Reactor, like it's more complicated than just handwriting code or using like Ash actions and stuff like that. But the moment that you have cross-service sagas, like if you're working with Stripe and this thing over here and this thing, right? Then Reactor is really great because Reactor, not only will it go async through everything to like finish all of the requests, if something goes wrong, it'll go back through and start undoing. Like it'll call the
that's dope.
So you can then like, okay, you can say actually, you know, revoke that, you know, now, okay, we're not going to check out anymore in this service over here. And we're not, and actually we need to refund this or all just different stuff like that, where it's like, it handles that complex stuff.
I feel like I need to use this. This is cool.
Yeah, you should give it a shot. And Reactor has usage rules and really good docs. Nice. So, well, awesome. Pretty good docs.
That's cool. No, yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I learned so much, like just here.
There you go.
Live in front of everyone.
Fun. I do like this part, even though I know I was saying I'll probably do a little bit less, but I do like this part of my job, like getting to like go and share and stuff like that. But I think like
you just need a break.
I have to make, yeah. And I need to make, it's more so like I want to make sure that other people can get to share too. Yeah. But like if every time anybody wants to have Ash related stuff on a podcast, I'm available. Right. Yeah. Then like that's like the natural sort of, which is, you know, it's just, yeah, I want to like make sure that other people.
I mean, you are really good at like discussing Ash and all your projects. So you're kind of a natural to
it only took 5 years to figure it out. Yeah.
I mean, I would be sad if I couldn't get Zach Daniel on my podcast.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is the last podcast I'm going to, no, I'm just kidding. Podcast. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it all goes, but it's good problems. I'm really happy. Like Ash is growing a lot. It's making a lot of people a lot of money. And like, even for Ash, it's like the thing that people don't realize is like, we don't have as many users as Phoenix, for example, but pretty much everybody who's using Ash for the long term, like is like doing like serious work with it. So like all of our users, or I mean, maybe they're doing hobby work with it too, but the point is that it's like, it's not really like I don't know. It just in general, every one of our users is like, really, they're like actively using this thing to do things that are important to them. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, yeah, there's less people than using Phoenix, but like they're all like around and present and doing big things, which is really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Phoenix is kind of just a staple that is in all Elixir projects at this point.
Right. Yeah.
Can't avoid
it. And I mean, like, I love Phoenix, you know, so you know, and that's why I didn't like Ash doesn't try to replace any of the Phoenix stuff. It'd be like insane. You know? Like Phoenix is the best web framework in the world.
Yeah. It's amazing.
In my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. It's not even close to the other ones don't even approach it. But I think that there's this big conflation that happens. Like people are like, they want like Phoenix to be like a batteries included thing, like Laravel is, for example. Mm-hmm. Laravel has like all of these pre-built sort of stuff. And I actually don't want that. Like I want my web framework to be for making web apps that can have any core of any type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think Phoenix like excels at that. It does give you some concept of patterns and application design tools, but they're kind of a take it or leave it type thing. And I leave it, you know, but I think Ash is where actually that should be. Like Laravel being a web framework doesn't make any sense to me. Like Ash is a better way to model that, where it's an application framework that can just fit inside of multiple web frameworks. Yeah. So, you know, you have like that new hologram web framework. Ash it pairs. You can just use it right with that thing. It doesn't even matter. Or the next web framework that comes, if one ever does, or if there's like a little micro framework that's kind of like Phoenix, but a little different, right? Like Ash is the central thing that you can take with you to all those places.
Yeah.
So I don't want Phoenix to tell me how to build my app.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I drink the Kool-Aid. I agree. Like if you're building a product, guys, you should at least check out Ash. And you might not like it, but it does make development move a lot more quickly.
Yeah, you'll either love it or you'll hate it, is in my experience. And you know what? We're good with that. Like we got enough people that love it that like no skin off my back. you know?
Yeah. Well, what's funny too is like my blockers when I run into problems as I'm using Ash, it's like always something like very simple. It's
Right.
not like the core functionality or like I don't know how to do something difficult. It's just like I don't know how to do this the Ash way. And then
Right.
it's that learning curve to realize like there's so much in Ash. You have to be like, wait, should I be writing like this encryption library, or is there a way to use Ash to encrypt, which there is.
Right.
So like you just have to
there
make sure
is.
you're not writing extra services that you don't need because there's so much included with Ash. That's like I think that's the most difficult part is knowing what you can do with Ash, like having the full picture.
Yeah. Like the unknown unknowns. And like it's so huge. Like, and we don't have one. I mean, there is actually cross-package search, you know, that is like
There's an API you can use for it, but
it's not. Oh, we're so close. I have to pick up some more work for that for XDoc, but we're really close to having XDoc so that it can, when you search on the Ash hex docs, it'll search all of the associated Ash packages.
Oh, cool.
Which would
nice.
But we also have this problem of like, this is the biggest problem with search. If you search the word like resource in the Ash docs, you get like a million things. So like how helpful, like, I don't know. We need to, but I guess that's what LLMs for. Oh, hey, hot tip. Go to Deep Wiki. And this is actually AI generated docs that are not garbage. I've never really seen it before, but like I've not seen anything that is better. So it has all of these GitHub repos, and you can see there's a bunch of excuse me, there's a bunch of Ash ones, and they are like AI generated docs, but it like looks at the code and the docs as far as I can tell, and like everything I've seen in this is like pretty damn accurate. Like I haven't seen anything that's just flat out wrong.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I've been considering like maybe I should just tell people to like, I don't want to make it like official because it's AI generated, but I'm like half tempted to do that. And they have like, I mean, actually I haven't seen, there's a new one in there for Ash AI. Let me see. Is that any good? Let's see. Oh my, there's all these like charts and stuff.
Why do I feel like the search doesn't work that good?
Which search?
At the top of Deep Wiki.
Oh yeah, you have to type in like I had to type in like Ash project to get.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, these are actually like, these charts are like really good.
And at least they have dark mode.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, top right corner.
Clicking that button. Okay, it like almost. Oh, this is much nicer. Dude, this is actually like.
This code generation, I don't know if this is like I had to go and look at your other Ash docs now, but like the code interface generation, a cool little chart.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Let me see that. I don't know if I've seen that one. Yeah, I'm like looking at these docs and I'm like, damn, they're actually pretty good, dude. Like,
yeah. I wonder if you can force an index or if you have to just wait for them to re-index it.
Oh, you can. Oh, refresh this wiki. Enter email to refresh, and then you can start a refresh.
Oh, cool.
I'll just see what happens. I don't know. I'll start a refresh. Oh, I have to put in motorcycles. Sorry, I'm funny. I have to prove I'm not an AI. One auto refresh. Add a badge. Oh, guys, are we gonna do this? This thing's like really. The docs seem pretty good, and I can. All you have to do is copy this badge into your GitHub README. Like, can somebody go and find something wrong in these docs? If you can find it like enough wrong things.
It does look pretty cool. Maybe we should copy some of their diagrams into our docs. Barnabas.
How is it so right? That's the thing I want to figure out. And
so like, do you not, you don't have any of these, you don't have any diagrams in your docs? It just generated that?
Yeah, no, those are not from our docs.
That's cool.
Just made them up.
That's dope. That's really cool. Yeah, I feel like you could
it's
like
missing.
pick and choose some stuff from this.
Right. I mean, this would be a good like feeder.
You know, like you
I
could
mean,
kind of take your current docs and like use an LLM to like also look at these, compare, contrast, and make them better.
that's clever.
Mm,
Like find the good stuff from here and put it in our own docs.
yeah.
It's like we like play.
We'd be playing these Deep Wiki guys.
Like thanks for the free content. Guys, are we cooked? Because this is good. Like these docs, like I'm like reading through this stuff and I haven't seen a thing wrong yet.
I mean, I think we're always on the edge of being cooked for sure.
Right.
We're the
Holy
only
crap.
industry that keeps using tools that are going to replace us and get excited about it.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things like, you know, the demand as we get better at making software quickly. Like, think about it. Even Ash, right, was and even Elixir, Phoenix, all of it is like you need less people to
Yeah.
do more stuff. But then but like the demand for tech doesn't go down. It's like
Right.
it's like, oh, you mean to tell me you can do what you used to do in 2 months in 2 weeks? Well, can I get 4x the tech then? Like it's not like, okay, well, we only need 1/4 of the tech. It's like, no, do
Yeah.
that 4 times. Get me 4 times as further in 2 months. Like, let's go. Right? Everybody's on
Well,
board with like,
I think like one thing people need to be excited about is it's so much easier to now bootstrap products and build a
Right.
successful platform with less people. Like you need one good engineer and a good salesperson and you have a business now, you know?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's a lot of that, like that solopreneur, like hybrid roles, you know, technical and business acumen kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
as all the tools get easier. I mean, even
Yeah.
so, you think of stuff like Stripe Atlas. Have you looked at Stripe Atlas? It's like this.
I know what it
I use it,
is, but
I started a business with it recently, and it like you don't have to be like a business whiz kid to go start a business through it, and it'll handle like you're getting your tax set up, your corporate governance.
oh, yeah,
It'll
that's
get you a
nice.
corporate. You can get a corporate bank account through it, connected through like Mercury Bank. You can get all this sort of stuff, right? So now me, like in this is the important thing I'm trying to get across. In the same way that solopreneuring is more possible because technology is getting easier to work with, and you know, maybe LLMs help there, I'm not sure. In that
Mhm.
same way, business is getting easier to work with tools like Stripe, so that you can accept payments and like the legal framework sitting around that, and Atlas and all these other things that make it so easy to start a business, that now I can be a business person more, you know, in a way I couldn't have been before. And a business person can be a programmer in a way that they couldn't have been before. And we all sort of converge on, I don't know, whatever this like jack of all trades type thing is in the middle.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now the only
Okay.
skill I have to work on is selling things that I build.
Oh yeah, that is the tough one, isn't it?
Yep.
That's like, I mean, some people think that's the fun part, but
It's not for me.
usually.
No, I
Yeah.
hate it. Like I'm really good at building things, and then when it comes to getting people to use it, that's hard.
We'll just get Claude to sell it for you or something.
Yeah, Claude, sell this for
I want
me.
to, right? Exactly. I mean, if you think about it, like people are always talking about. I was going to say this earlier, talking about getting left behind by AI, and I'm like, but the thing is, like, if AI turns into this like magical genius device that we all have in our pocket, I'm gonna ask it to figure that out for me, right? Like, if I'm like feeling
Mhm.
left behind, I'm gonna be like, hey, chat, like. I'm feeling like I don't make enough money. Can you help me with that? If it's like actually like this like mega intelligent, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get there. But my point is
Yeah.
that like my point is that those people who are saying that it's, oh, we're also cooked, it's gonna be AGI soon, you know, then I'm like, great. Then we'll
Yeah.
all have
It just
magic
shifts.
robot.
It shifts our world. It just shifts the way we do things. But like Chaz said, every engineer needs a marketing / salesperson. Like that like it closes the loop. Like if you're a builder,
Right.
you need your partner. Never partner with someone that has the same skill set as you. It's idiotic. Like you won't get anywhere. But the second,
Yeah.
like I'm weak at sales and marketing, you find someone that eats that shit up, you can
Right.
build anything.
Love it.
Yeah.
Before we call it here, I want to think of a question that's really hard, like an Ash question that's really hard. Because this Deep Wiki also, you can just ask questions apparently. I haven't done that yet,
Oh.
but like I'm like wondering what a complicated question is. Let's see. Okay. Let me ask. What should I ask it? I was
How
thinking
do
about
I
managing
integrate?
relationships.
No. Ask how to like integrate, like how would I integrate like OAuth or something that's kind of hard.
What it would say, like, what if I just do something like totally off the wall? Like, how would I integrate Stripe into my Ash app? Because we don't have anything that does that automatically. I don't know. It's a ridiculous question to ask personally. It's a huge question. But let's see. It's like scanning a bunch of.
It better come back with like stripety stripe.
Okay, so it says to integrate Stripe into your Ash app, you would likely need to create Ash resources to model your payment-related data, use manual actions for Stripe API interactions as demonstrated in the external API wrapping guide. Manual actions allow you to implement custom logic, handle webhooks from Stripe using custom actions or Phoenix controllers. It didn't list anything like specific, but it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's very high level. Maybe I say like, could you show me an example of a resource doing that? Oh, this isn't a chat. Let me just ask of a resource that integrates with Stripe. I can't tell if it's like knows about the last. I mean, this looks pretty. Those actions make sense. Bruh.
There, you don't even have to build anything anymore.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point people at this. I think I might actually start doing that. Just say like, hey, go check Deep Wiki before you ask me questions. It just feels so dirty.
It's weird. Well, like I feel dirty sometimes just like leveraging LLMs when I'm writing code.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to get used to. It's just a different, I don't know, different way of doing things, I guess.
This is good. Can I share? I can share this here. Let me just share this with chat. Can I do that? No, I can't.
You can send me the link
I'll send it
in
to you. Yeah.
video, and then I can share links.
Okay. Yeah, because this actually like this straight up works, dude. Like, I mean, it's like not. I don't know. I keep saying it's not perfect, but it's actually like.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I mean, this is about right. It's probably this is a better answer than I would have given if somebody asked me that vague ass question. How do I integrate with Stripe?
And then
you know what I mean?
there's even like a go deeper button. So what does that do? That's cool.
Go deeper. All right. Should I press that button?
I don't know. It seems dangerous, bro.
Okay.
This is a live
deep
stream.
mode.
Oh man.
All right, we're going deep. Why is this free? Oh, because you can get like free private deep wikis. Yeah, they I don't know. They must just be doing that AI thing where they're losing money on this, right?
I feel like that's all of AI right now, and we're gonna get all dependent on it, and then they're gonna be like $1,000 a month, bro.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. You're probably right. But yeah, look, I'm impressed with this, like these questions answered. I assume, I mean, all right, y'all, use it. Don't ask me for help.
Yeah, you can retire. You can go enjoy being disconnected from a keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to set this thing up that I was talking about, where you get, you just have to put the badge on the README of your project, and it'll get automatically refreshed. It says.
Oh, so every time you push an update, it indexes?
Apparently, that's what it says.
That's
get automatic
cool.
indexes by adding the badge to your repository. I'm going to do some research, but
no, just do it, dude. Don't even think about it.
I guess what I'll do actually, I'll as a test, I'll add the badge to Ash AI. And Deep Wiki badge generator. Yeah. So that's already kind of like on the cutting edge of AI stuff, like I think we have a Claude MD file in that package. We don't have it anywhere else. Like I know we have an agents.md file that talks about like so that's our kind of testing ground for AI related stuff. So I can, yeah.
Is everyone kind of settling on like, is it going to be agent.md? Because I hate how every LLM has a different knowledge base file name.
As far as I can tell, agents.md is going to be the one. If in terms of one central file, yes, it will be agents.md. But still, Claude uses claude.md. But I really hope they figure out using agents.md. But there are some things like Cursor, for example, has like you can have like different rule sets. So it's like not one file. It's like there's like all these other,
Well, I mean, that's how I've been doing it. I'll have my like main MD file point at like a docs directory, and then I'll have like more detailed things like for my testing patterns and like other like more niche things in the project architecture that you don't maybe want it to reference every time. But if it's screwing something up, you can be like, you need to check my architecture markdown file.
Yeah. All right. I'm adding this badge. We'll see if, that didn't work. What did I, we'll see if we get some sort of like special, what the hell is going on? Anyway, there it is. Okay. So let's commit add Deep Wiki badge.
And then it does it right away.
I don't know, but it's up there now. There's a Deep Wiki on Ash AI's GitHub in the README.
GitHub, Ash AI. Let's look at it. Oh yeah, I see it.
My God, I have to I'm doing like 3 CAPTCHAs. I don't know how to say that word. It says it automatically refreshes weekly with the latest code changes because it's featured in the repository's README.
Oh, all right.
So,
I mean, that's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ash, you said Ash project. And then Ash AI. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Motorcycles.
Yeah, okay. You got. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
All right.
I had to do like 3 separate ones. It was crazy.
It made me do 2. Oh, now it's making me do buses.
Yeah, I had to do stairs, crosswalks, buses, and bicycles.
Do you know when it was last crawled? Oh, May 9th. Okay. So now we have to keep an eye on this. Every time you refresh it, by the way, it's making me do the CAPTCHA.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I don't know if I refresh this one or if I refresh the Ash one. Okay, it says refresh started. We'll email you when the refresh completes.
Oh, all right, cool.
Where did you see the date?
Top left corner, right above overview.
Oh.
And like the.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty old. Yeah. Still pretty cool.
That is cool. I'm excited to see.
Oh, I had to get it. I didn't even refresh. I just went to a different page and I have to identify stairs again.
Damn it.
I don't like that.
That'll get annoying.
I guess you can sign in.
That's what they want you to do.
Right. I guess I can continue with GitHub. I'll sign in with GitHub. See if that stops happening. USA Cognition. That's the name of that company, I guess.
Interesting.
Connect your Git repository. Oh, I don't want to do that. Whatever. Pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. This was fun. So guys, August 1st, Zach and I are going to do some pair programming with Ash. So that'll be a lot of fun. Tune in. It'll just be me stumbling over my keyboard, but I think we'll do a pretty cool project. I think, should we do a poll or should we just do the streaming tools? I think streaming tools would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like
We'll
we nailed the use case there. So
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. We got to figure out
That's
what
actually
we're
what-
gonna do.
Yeah. So like Tej and Prime, they're like working on stream tools too. It's kind of
Oh,
like a
nice.
theme, I guess.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
we're-
I mean,
Yeah.
for as much as they live stream, it makes sense. I don't enjoy. I'm streaming to Twitch right now, but I don't enjoy the ecosystem of Twitch as much
Right.
as like YouTube. Maybe that's just because I don't have Twitch followers, but who knows?
yeah, I don't know. It's all the same to me, really. I just show up. You know, I think I watch on Twitch lately, but I actually don't like watching on Twitch. I think I've been watching Prime and Tej on Twitch because that seems like where their main chat is.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, who knows?
It's cool seeing Prime get all excited about Elixir.
Dude, it really is. Like it's so funny because like everybody talks about like Elixir marketing and stuff, but like Prime doing Elixir live on stream is like the best thing that's happened for Elixir marketing in like a million years.
Yeah,
You
for
know what I mean?
real.
Like
Yeah.
there's we're gonna capitalize on that to some degree.
Yeah, no, it's pretty dope. But I think we can wrap this up, and then
Yep.
August 1st, we'll be doing some live coding, so that'll be a lot of fun. So Daniel, Zach, thanks for joining me.
How dare you? No, man, it was good to be here. This was fun.
Yeah, this
Oh,
was
as
fun.
always.
And I'm going to play with Ash AI before our live stream because it actually looks like I can benefit quite a bit from it right now. So I got to get my hands dirty.
Get into it, dude.
And I didn't realize how powerful like the MCP proxy stuff was until I saw it like running queries and stuff against my database and helping me solve problems. Like it was pretty cool. Like Tidewave and
it's
all that. So
Game changing stuff for sure.
yeah,
Like,
for real.
yeah. All right, man. This was
All
fun.
right. Yeah. Thanks, Zach. Thank you everyone that joined us. The chat was going wild. It's exciting because I feel like just over the last like couple months, chat has been getting more involved, and it's fun like being able to chat with people that are live stream that are just hanging out. But it's cool. All right, guys, have a good weekend. See ya.
Later.
Testing.